The rise of Donald Trump, COVID-19, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, listening to this week's confirmation hearings for Judge Ketanji Jackson Brown. Living in America these last few years has often been overwhelming and discouraging. One might even say it's enough to make you lose your faith. It is serendipitous that this month's theme of renewing faith has given us all a chance to reflect on what we believe in and what we can do to revitalize our faith in this challenging environment. Each month, as part of the worship committee's regular meeting, we discuss the upcoming theme for the congregation. The conversation about today's topic that happened at our last meeting was unusually lively. Everyone had something important to contribute and felt especially engaged by the topic. I suspect that many of you had similar experiences in chalice circles. I think this is the nature of discussing the idea of faith with Unitarian Universalists. It is baked into the foundation of our denomination. The fourth principle, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, calls on us to take responsibility for articulating what is true for each of us, and is why we offer a curriculum called Designing Your Own Theology. That's a pretty tall order. It's not the sort of thing that is one and done. We commit ourselves to an ongoing relationship to our faith. As we move through life, experience presents new insights to us and challenges to what we thought was solid and reliable. It invites us to constantly reevaluate what our faith is and how it manifests in our lives. So, here we are at the end of the month. What do you think? What did you come up with? Here are some of what's gone through my mind as I prepared for today. Faith is a powerful word. Think about the many ways it fits into our everyday expressions. You've got to have faith in yourself. You don't want to lose your faith in humanity. We're all concerned about faith in our democratic institutions. You want to operate in good faith, avoid bad faith, and be careful of having blind faith. Heavy things come up when we discuss the idea of faith. Think also about words we might use interchangeably with faith: belief, conviction, confidence, trust, hope, credence, resolve, resilience. They are words of strength and similar to faith, but faith is unique. Mystery is built into it. Faith implies something that can never fully be known. It is always just beyond your reach. You choose to believe something in spite of the fact that it can't be proven. And actually, that's some of what makes faith powerful. You are held by a broader view. That even if your situation seems dark or difficult, you hold on to the idea that it will be okay, you will be okay. Everything will unfold in its way. Honestly, I have struggled to articulate my own faith exactly, probably because I don't have a very clear answer to the question, does God exist? When I spoke with my daughter Ruby and her boyfriend Hayden about it last month ago, my response to them was something like this: I have faith that if I show up, if I give my best, if I am patient with my imperfections and those of others, if I do the work of trying to see things from someone else's perspective, And if I can bring love and humility to each moment, positive things can happen, meaningful things, important things. Ruby and Hayden weren't so sure that was enough to fit their definition of faith. When I was in college, I did an internship in Jersey City, New Jersey. Jersey City is just across the river from New York City and has developed into a hip and desirable place to live. 40 years ago, though, it hadn't yet been discovered, and there were some pretty rough parts. I worked there as a teacher's aide in the 3rd grade at St. Bridget's, a Catholic elementary school. Domestic violence, poverty, addiction, and neglect were the reality that many of the students went home to each night and brought the pain of those experiences into school the next day. Why would I sign up for this? Because from classmates, I had heard about Sister Barbara, the principal of the school. In the semester that I spent at her school, I was constantly struck by the power that a leader with good vision and strong resolve can have to bring out the best in those around her. In the face of endless obstacles and challenges, she believed in the potential of her students and of her staff. She was tough, but warm. She held them responsible. She accepted when they fell down, and she helped them stand back up. She was non-judgmental. She had faith that if she showed up with love for these kids every day, better things would happen for them. And it worked. I saw it for students and staff, and I saw it in myself, in the way I was better able to understand and help the students. My experiences at St. Bridget's were some of the most rewarding of my college years. Unfortunately, when I went back to college, I was drawn back into the stress and demands of school, and the mindset I had grown into in Jersey City faded. I didn't maintain contact with Sister Barbara after I left Jersey City. But in the first few days after Trump was elected, there were moments I needed something extraordinary to hold on to. Even though I hadn't thought about her in years, Sister Barbara came to mind. I felt consoled to think about her success with those kids and that school. Across the years, her faith gave me faith that there was always reason to hope. In the call to worship this morning, I used a quote from William Sloane Coffin. He said, "I love the recklessness of faith. First you leap, then you grow wings." It reflects that faith is an action and a choice. It is outside of reason. You show up with love and humility. You leap into your faith, and amazing things can happen. And what can we do to keep our faith strong? One important idea came earlier in this service, in Randall's and Anthony's rendition of My Favorite Things. And I want to say a special thank you to Randall for being willing to answer the call. I think you did just a fantastic job, and it was touching and meaningful to all of us. So thank you. As most of you know, the song is from The Sound of Music, a story set in Europe during the early days of World War II, and it is painfully relevant to our current situation. When you feel scared and hurt, remember to connect to the things that bring you joy. The idea is simple but powerful. Along the same lines, you can think back to what you brought into faith in the first place. Life gets busy. Things get in the way. We lose sight of what's most dear to us. if you can step away, even briefly, from the immediate demands of your day, you can get back to a clearer, broader state of mind. In our worship committee meeting, people mentioned the importance of having a regular practice of meditation or intentionality to renew themselves. Several people I spoke with mentioned the importance also of connecting to friends for helping get them through especially difficult times. Talking to someone with an empathetic ear can make the load lighter and enable you to feel less isolated. Another thing to think about is gratitude. In the past decade or two, we have gained a great understanding of the importance of appreciating all that you have in life. You can work on bringing gratitude to the forefront of your mind. Like meditation, it grounds you in the present and calls you to appreciate the wonders that surround you. You can find ways to shift or expand your perspective. Faith has a lot to do with the way you see things. When people speak of feeling renewed, it often involves seeing what is right in front of them in a new way. Do your usual things differently. Go to places you haven't been to before. This could mean travel, but it could also be just going to a new place locally. Keep widening the circle of your consideration, knowing that the world is big, the possibilities are endless. Work on remembering that present challenges will pass. And embrace doubt and the unknown as vital partners to your faith. The opposite of faith is not doubt, but despair. Doubt and questioning are part of how we tune ourselves up and keep our faith sharp. Our faith is dynamic, and like a good GPS, needs to be recalibrated as our experience changes. It needs to be tuned. It needs to be put into action to feel vibrant and alive. And then all you need to do is leap. May it be so.